Stop buying compression socks until you hear this. After 32 years as a nurse, I thought I knew everything about circulation and swelling. I spent most of my career on my feet, 12-hour shifts, walking miles through hospital hallways, helping patients who struggled with leg pain, swelling, and all the problems that come when blood doesn't flow the way it should. Back then, I wore compression socks on most of my shifts. Now, I'll be honest with you, they were never the most comfortable things in the world, and getting them on in the morning? That was always a chore, but the relief they gave me after a long day on my feet was worth it. My legs didn't ache as much. The swelling stayed down, so I put up with the discomfort, and I recommended them to my patients too, even though I knew they'd struggle to get them on, even though I knew they weren't exactly pleasant to wear, because the benefit was real and I believed it was worth it. It made sense. Gentle pressure helps your veins push blood back up toward your heart. Less pooling means less swelling. Less swelling means less pain. Simple. But here's what I didn't understand until my own legs started giving me trouble years later. After I retired, I stopped wearing compression socks. Didn't think I needed them anymore. But a few years later, I noticed my ankles looked puffy by the end of the day. My legs felt heavy and tired, even when I hadn't done much. Some mornings I'd wake up with that achy, restless feeling that made me dread getting out of bed. So I figured I'd go back to what worked before. I went to the drugstore to pick up a new pair of compression socks, and that's when I realized something had changed. These weren't like the socks I remembered. The material felt cheaper, thinner in some spots, too tight in others. And getting them on? It was even harder than before. It took me nearly 10 minutes of tugging and pulling. By the time I finally got them up, I was out of breath and my hands were sore. Within an hour of wearing them, I was counting the minutes until I could rip them off. The squeezing behind my knee, the way the fabric pinched and dug into my skin, that tight feeling that made my legs tingle more, not less. By the end of the day, I had red marks that took hours to fade, and I thought to myself, what happened? These are so much worse than they used to be. After doing some digging, I found out what's been going on. The problem isn't compression itself. Compression actually works. Decades of research backs that up. The problem is what's happened to the companies making these socks. There's a race to the bottom going on. Companies keep cutting costs to beat each other on price. Cheaper materials, older machines. And here's the part that really bothers me. When they switch to cheaper materials, they don't adjust their designs or their machines to match. So the compression levels end up all over the place. Too tight in one spot, too loose in another, no consistency, no quality control, and that can actually be dangerous for older folks. See, when compression is too strong, it can cut off circulation instead of helping it. Younger athletes can handle higher pressure because their veins are strong enough to push blood through anyway. But for people our age, our veins need gentle, consistent support, not a squeeze that makes things worse. The sad truth is, most of these companies aren't even trying to make something for the people who need it most. They're focused on athletes and runners. Meanwhile, folks dealing with real circulation issues, swelling that gets worse every day, legs that feel like they weigh 100 pounds by dinner time, they're being ignored. And when the socks are that uncomfortable and that hard to put on, people give up. A sock sitting in your drawer isn't helping anyone. A few months ago, a friend told me about a small company called One Compress. They did something different. Instead of designing for athletes and hoping older adults would just deal with the discomfort, they started from scratch. They asked one question: how do we make compression that people over 55 will actually want to wear all day? They found the sweet spot on compression level, strong enough to support healthy circulation, gentle enough to feel like a cozy hug instead of a blood pressure cuff. The kind of pressure that helps your veins do their job without squeezing the life out of your legs. And instead of using that scratchy synthetic material, they used bamboo, real bamboo fabric that's softer than cotton. It breathes. It doesn't trap heat or make you sweaty. And here's the best part. It actually gets softer every time you wash it. The first morning I tried them, I braced myself for the usual struggle, but the material stretched wide and just slid right on. No tugging, no fighting, no sore hands. I couldn't believe it. And then I forgot I was wearing compression socks. That had never happened before. Now I want to be honest with you. These socks didn't make my swelling disappear overnight. That's not how it works. But after wearing them regularly for a couple weeks, I started noticing little things. My ankles didn't look as puffy in the evening. that heavy, tired feeling wasn't as bad. I actually had energy left at the end of the day. And because they're so easy to put on and so comfortable to wear, I actually stick with them. That's the part most people don't realize. Consistency is what makes compression work. A little bit of gentle support day after day adds up, but you have to actually wear them for that to happen. If you've tried compression socks before and gave up, I don't blame you one bit. That decision made perfect sense. You're not a quitter. You just had a bad tool. The socks you tried were probably designed for someone half your age with completely different needs, but your legs still need support. That hasn't changed. I can't believe I'm saying this, but after finding one compress, I actually feel comfortable recommending compression socks again. It's been a long time since I could say that. I've even looked into some of their other products. They make compression sleeves for knees, for feet, for hands. And I'm planning to order a few because honestly, it feels like somebody is finally looking out for folks like us, making things that actually work for older bodies, things we can actually use. There's a short article about what makes these bamboo socks different from everything else out there. It's not fancy sales talk, just an honest look at why most compression socks fail older adults and what is worth trying. So, if your swelling has been getting worse, if you're tired of that heavy, achy feeling, if you've got a drawer full of socks you'll never wear again, it might be worth a read. I put the link below.